Everyone, welcome to our Monday live stream. So glad to see so many of you here today. I know a lot of people are home from work. Maybe you have your kids home from school. So a lot of families watching together, a lot of people getting outside, if you're able to be outside, if it's not too cold, getting out in the garden and growing their own food. What a great time to do that. And we are here every Monday at noon Pacific time to talk about garden tips, give resources. There's a wonderful garden community here. I'm in the chat about 15 minutes before the stream starts. So just kind of hang out, check in, answer any questions you might have that we can answer before the stream starts, and just to be a good support to each other. In this day of social distancing, we want to make sure that we're making the effort to be a part of some kind of community, whether it's here, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's through friends, a church group, whatever it is, be part of a community over social media however you can. Because we really all still need the social contact in some way, even though we have to keep physically far apart. So if it's your first time, welcome. So glad that you're here. We're all about growing our own veggies in a quick, simple, inexpensive way. And that actually is our topic today, is how to grow veggies on the cheap. So all of us are wanting to save money right now. Some of us have been laid off of work. Most of us have less money coming in, and growing on the cheap is a very important topic to know how to do that. So I'm going to share a couple of ways that I thought of, and I also want to hear from you, because I know a lot of you have been growing on the cheap for years and have a lot of great practical tips that you can offer the garden community here. And that's what it's all about. Bring practical, sharing things that we can actually do in our own homes with the resources that we have to grow our own food during this crazy time in the world. So it seems crazy that just a week ago, well, even just 2 weeks ago, things were so different. And in fact, when we live streamed on the first day of spring on Thursday, and there goes Mac. If you guys can see Mac going up the hill, he has been snapping at the bees and looking for lizards in the stone wall as I've been out here preparing for the live stream. But after our live stream last Thursday, right after we got off the stream, we heard that the governor of California gave stay-at-home orders for the state. So camera guy now is home from work. And in fact, he is inside filling your seed orders. We've had a really high volume of seed orders. So thank you so much for supporting our online store. It really helps us out. And we are so glad that we can help you grow your own food during this time of crisis. So he's inside crazily filling seed orders. We can get as many as we can in the mail to you as soon as possible. They are taking a little bit longer to ship these days just because of the high volume of orders. Trying to get everything shipped within 48 to 72 hours. So please be patient. If things are out of stock on our website, it will say out of stock on the seed collection that you want to order, and then check back in another day or so to see if it's back in stock. We're going to keep shipping things out as long as we can keep getting the seed supply. So, you know, if you need seeds, that's a great place to start. And today is the last day of the 20% off sale with the code GROW. Okay, guys, let's see here. Who is here? All of our seed stores have no seeds left. Yeah, we still have a decent amount of inventory, and I'm going to be making some calls today to see what kind of supplies I can get to restock. Hoping we can keep going as long as possible. I have a daily postal pickup. We pack our seeds all from our own home, and now Camera Guy is helping me because the orders were absolutely coming in crazy. So appreciate your patience on that, and so glad that we can help you out by supplying seeds for you to grow your own food. So let's see who's here in the chat today. Hope you all are staying inside, staying safe, staying healthy, staying home, taking care of your family. We have Anna from Finland. I love seeing people all over the world. It's so much fun to see people watching. Katie, you can check out the website. There's lots of different seed collections to see how much each seed collection is. I also have my book over there, which will teach you all the skills you need to know to grow veggies in a quick, simple, inexpensive way. And this is called Homegrown or Organic Gardening for Everyone, Homegrown Vegetables Made Easy. And we do still have some Smart Pots containers left in stock. Those are going super quick. And I'm also in touch with Smart Pots to see how quickly we can get those restocked once they run out. So let's see here, guys. Who else is here? Sharon Goodbert, thank goodness I have seeds. Yeah, if you've got seeds, you can grow yourself some food. Emily's Garden, I love your seeds. Thank you so much. Garden Girl in Taylor, Michigan, it snowed this morning. Wow. But now the sun is out, the snow is gone. Doesn't that just give you a lift? So much fun to see the sun come out. Rebecca, first year gardening without my parents, and I found someone to bring me dirt for free. Wow, that's awesome, Rebecca. Share your resources here if you have resources like that or in the area where you live, where you're able to get supplies. Let's see here. Everyone has gone crazy with DIY plants and food here. In one day, it's all gone. Absolutely. Yeah. Get all your DIY projects, all the research online is going crazy with DIY, grow your own. Nellykins has her first loofah bud. That's amazing, Nellykins. I still have not been able to get mine planted. We've been so busy with the seed shop. I've got to dig out those seeds. I'm determined to do that in the next couple of days here. Vanessa, planted my Callie Kim Spring Garden seed collection. Last night, we'll be trying the lettuce seed pack inside in the grow bag. That is so easy to grow inside, Vanessa. Great idea. Excited to taste and to see how they all turn out. Thanks, Callie Kim. You are very, very welcome. So let's jump into the first tip for the day. Or the first idea is how to grow veggies on the cheap. And a lot of you are already talking about that here, and that is to grow from seed. Obviously, a lot of us can't get out to the garden centers right now, although actually I think hardware stores are, at least in California, hardware stores, if you have a stay-at-home order in your state, I believe hardware stores are still open. So if you're brave enough to go out, although I don't recommend it, I just recommend staying home, you may be able, but if you have to go there for some other essential supplies, you may be able to pick up some transplants if they're still available. But grow from seed if you can get your hands on some seeds, because you're gonna save so much money. Here I have a little flat of kale and chard that I started, I think about 3 weeks ago now, and I have got to get this planted out. I've been planting it in some containers, and I got to get the rest of it planted out today. You can grow so much kale and chard here, 72 little pellets in this little tray, or you can just pop them in containers, little seed starting cells inside, get them off to a quick start, and then you're gonna have some tasty greens. Now, kale is cold tolerant and heat tolerant, so it's a really good vegetable to plant. If you're still in the snow, you're gonna be getting warm soon, and then you can grow yourself kale throughout the summer. Some lettuce is a good quick growing seed. I know a lot of you have lettuce growing, and once it gets hot though, the lettuce isn't gonna grow so well. So I always like to grow something cold tolerant, something heat tolerant to keep things going. So grab yourself some seeds. If you have some neighbors and friends that maybe you can swap seeds with, that's a great way to help save money if you can't get out and purchase seeds, or can't purchase them online if you're not able to do that right now. See if you can trade with somebody. Drop some off on their doorstep, have them leave some for you, share with friends, share with family. It's a great way to save money and garden for pennies, absolute pennies on the dollar. Another way that you can use seeds to really help you garden on the cheap is to save seeds. And we'll be doing some more videos on that as I have seeds to save. But I actually popped a link in the video description of this live stream. Once it uploads, you'll see it there on how to save lettuce seeds. I did a video on that a couple years back, so definitely go back and check out that video. And let me show you a couple of plants that are starting to go to seed, just so you can see what they look like. You see those little yellow flowers right over there? Those are actually, I believe it was a Napa cabbage. It's flowered, and when the flowers dry up, then you'll see little seed pods on the top of the plant there. Then you can collect those and save the seeds for the next time that you plant. So you might always want to let a couple of your plants flower if you have the space for it, and that way you can garden on the cheap and plant those seeds in the next growing season. So let me pop into the chat here and let me know how you like to grow from seed, any other gardening on the cheap ideas, and I'm going to share a couple more in just a second here. Okay, Natalie, Jamaica is on lockdown. I can't order any seeds right now. Okay, I totally understand that, Natalie, or I'm sorry, not Natalie. Yeah, Natalie. So many people are in that situation. Do you have anyone around you that you could, like a neighbor maybe that you could just walk next door, and ask that person if they have some seeds, or if you take your dog out for a walk. I know here we're still able to get out and exercise, walk our dogs. Maybe there's somebody within walking distance, or when you take a trip to the grocery store, that you could swing by and pick some seeds up. Use the community around you, of course, via social media and social distancing, and see how you can get your hands on some seeds. Okay, let's see. Patsella, can you post a link to Kim's site? Okay, thank you, Katie. My website is calliekimgardenandhome.com, and there's all kinds of seed collections there for you to choose from. And we are packing orders busily so that we can get those out to you so you can get them planted. So really appreciate all of your support of our online store. Okay, Angela, any secret to get your seedling greens to tall in the peat pellets before putting in the ground? Worm tea? Okay, Angela, yes, I definitely do fertilize my pellets or my little seed starting cups about once a week or so after they have a couple sets of true leaves, or after they're like 3 to 4 inches tall. You can use the Vermistera worm tea at quarter strength or half strength, and that really does help them stay healthy, keep on growing. Because once they sprout, let me pull out one of my little kale seedlings here. Once they sprout and, whoops, they're all kind of getting mixed up. Once they sprout and start to grow, they've pretty much used up any nutrients that might be in the pellets, and they really need some additional nutrients to keep growing. So if you can get your hands on some kind of organic fertilizer, of course the worm tea is great. Another one you can use that's very inexpensive, you may be able to order on Amazon if you can't get to the store, is fish fertilizer. Now keep in mind, it does have a pretty strong odor, but you can use it at like half to quarter strength, and you can use that to help with your seedling growth too if you can't purchase the worm tea right now. So that's a great way to keep your seedlings growing and growing nice and tall. Okay, Sharon. Hi, Kim. All of my greens and other veggie seedlings are growing beautifully. I can't wait to get them outdoors. Yeah, once it gets sunny and once your frost date is passed, you can start getting some of your warm weather vegetables planted. We did have to do a little pause in the spring garden series just with all this going on. We did not post a video over the weekend because we were so busy with seed orders. But now that Camera Guy is home, we're hoping to be able to post more content. We will have some more videos coming out this week on how to harden off your plants, and then hopefully within a couple of weeks we'll do some planting out in the garden. But stay tuned to the YouTube channel here. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification, because we are going to be definitely filming more content now that Camera Guy is home and able to get out and film a little bit more. Okay, Rihanna Wright, hi, from Georgia here. Right now we can't, but I love going to local seed swaps each year where you can get heirloom seeds from others and share your own as well. Other than that, I harvest my own, in a great way to save money. Thank you so much for the suggestion, Rihanna. Okay, any homemade fertilizer ideas? You know what, I'm going to be doing some research on that. I know a few years back, I haven't done this for a while, but a few years back I was soaking banana peels in water just for the extra potassium. And I will definitely be doing some research on some homemade DIY fertilizers, but if anyone has some suggestions, I would love to hear them. I'm sure everyone else would too. Okay, let's see here. Aloha from Northern Florida, from Aloha Ann. Hi, how are you? Okay, let's see here. Sharon, will algae kill my tomato seedlings or affect it when I transplant to a raised bed? Okay, if you're talking about kind of the little green stuff that sometimes you see on top of your seedlings, I have not had a problem with that actually affecting in a really bad way, unless it gets really bad, affecting the growth of my plants or affecting them once they get planted out. What I would do is just provide some good airflow to your seedlings. Make sure you're not overwatering, but sometimes it does still grow. If you can, kind of scrape it off with a little knife or something like that, and just let your seedlings dry out a little bit before you water them, so that you don't have that issue in the future. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Yi Vita is giving a great suggestion. Soaking any organic materials in water works. Dump all your pasta water, any water you boil veggies in, water from soaking your bean seeds, etc. for a good DIY fertilizer. Thank you so much, Yi, for the tip. I really, really appreciate it. I know everyone else here does too. So let's hear any of your other DIY fertilizer tips in the chat. And it's so much fun to learn together and see what actually works that other people have tried. It's so wonderful. I love this community, how we share information. Okay, let me talk about the second, oh, and make sure you go back and watch that saving lettuce seeds video, because that does have some really practical tips, especially if you're starting to get warm weather. Like I know in southern climates, maybe in Florida, you're starting to get really warm and your lettuce is going to start going to seed. You definitely want to save those and make every use of every little lettuce seed that you possibly can and save yourself a lot of money so you don't have to repurchase seeds. Okay, the second tip, and I love this, guys, this is so much fun, is grow veggies from veggies. So there are so many different veggies that you can grow from veggie scraps, and I'm gonna give you a couple of examples. A few years ago, I actually rooted a little celery base that was from the grocery store. It was an organic bunch of celery, and it grew roots beautifully. I actually did a video on that, so you can go back and watch that for how to do it. And you know what? I have never had to plant celery. I planted that out in the garden, and then it grew beautiful stalks the first year, and then once it got too warm for it, it went to seed and dropped seeds everywhere, literally everywhere. And oh, there's Mac. Mac, say hi to everybody. And now I have celery in several different places in my garden. Super, super easy to do. So if you have celery, or you can get yourself your hands on some celery from the grocery store, make sure you go back and watch that video. Grow yourself some veggies from Veggies and make good use of it. Don't throw those little celery bases away. A couple other veggies you can do this with are romaine lettuce and basil. So let me show you guys here a little basil plant. Romaine lettuce will root the same way that a celery plant will. And I think, hold on a second. Oh, coffee break. Hi there, camera guy.
Hey, everybody.
Wonderful. Camera guy is taking a break from filling seed orders. Came out here to have a little cookie and take a little snack, and Max made a couple appearances too, a cup of coffee. So I'm glad to see you out here, Jerry. And I know everyone else is too. There's camera guy. Okay, a little visitor on our live stream. Wonderful. Another vegetable that you can grow from a vegetable besides celery and romaine lettuce is basil. If you have any basil growing in your garden, or if you can plant some and grow a couple of plants, you can grow veggies, in this case herbs, from current herbs that you already have, simply by trimming a little stalk and rooting it in water. So you can clip your basil plant right here and grow yourself an endless supply. You can pop it in water. You want to change the water every day, put it in a little glass, and then within usually about 3 to 5 days, you'll start growing roots, and then you can plant yourself a brand new celery plant. So you really only have to plant a few plants, and then you can grow an endless supply all over your garden, or have little seedlings that you can then drop off on a neighbor's front porch. So of course I've got a video on that. Go back and check that out. Super, super easy to do. There's all kinds of veggies you can grow from Veggies. So, and save yourself some money in the garden. So comment in the chat here. Let me know if you've ever tried any of these 3 things that I mentioned. I know there's so many other veggies you can grow from veggie scraps, and let me know what you've tried that has worked, so that we can all save money together, all right? Nicole is saying, growing basil from cuttings last fall. Let me have basil all winter. Great. It's been amazing. Thanks, Kim, for that video you made on that. You're very welcome. I'm really glad that it worked out well for you. Garden Girl has her lettuce and onion bottoms. I forgot to mention onions. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Love watching them grow. Just make sure it's a glass container. Okay, great suggestion, Garden Girl. Onions do work well. I've never tried the large bulb onions, but I have tried the little spring onions or the green onions. Those will grow forever in a glass of water, as long as you change the water every day or so. That's really important, so it doesn't get all slimy. You can even just harvest those right on your windowsill, and they grow back within a couple of days. So great suggestion. Jerry, a lot of people are saying hello.
Yeah, I see him. I'm saying hi back.
Oh,
Sorry.
yay. I didn't realize you were on there. Okay, good. Let's see. Tomatoes from cuttings. Great suggestion, Agord. That is a wonderful, wonderful tip. I believe I have a video on that as well. So go and search my YouTube channel. There's so many playlists that will help you out. And I have a video on just about not every vegetable, but lots and lots of different things. So go and search, find something so that you have the tools you need to grow the veggies you need right now when you necessarily can't get out to the grocery store. Okay, Rain Bee, great suggestion on DIY fertilizer. Mix ground dried banana peels, ground eggshells, and used charcoal. Wow, I never thought of that. Great idea, Rain Bee. That would be a really good video to try out and show all you guys too. So thank you so much for that tip. Catherine, it has to be a glass container. You know, I've mainly used jars for rooting my basil. I don't think I've ever used anything besides glass. So if anyone else has any experience with that, but you know what? Give it a try. Try it in one, try it in both, see what works best for you. The key is though, make sure to change the water often and don't put it in direct sunlight right away until it has some time to get established and to be a stronger rooted plant. Okay, question here from Tia Shame. Hi, Kim from Louisiana. Hi, Tia, how are you? Can I mix fish fertilizer and worm tea together or do 1 week and other the next? Okay, yes, you can. Fish fertilizer is highly concentrated when you get it, as is worm tea. So I've often watered with them both together. Fish fertilizer is higher in nitrogen, so it's going to give your plants a good burst of leafy green growth. And then the worm tea gives all that good, healthy, beneficial bacteria and microbes to your fertilizer that's really going to help your plants be healthy. So definitely you can combine them and use them together. Okay, let's see here. I have nasturtium sprouting from Angela's Garden Sense. When should I place in larger pots? Angela, you can really do that when they have a couple of sets of leaves. Nasturtiums also grow really, really well direct seeded out in the garden. I don't know that I have ever start them. I think maybe I have once started them inside and then transplanted them out. If you're in a colder area, you could definitely try that because they do not tolerate frost at all. So you want to be really careful about planting them outside before it's too cold. But once the weather warms up, your frost is past, they seed so easily in the garden, especially when you get them in a little bit of sunlight. They're growing beautifully right behind me here. We've had a ton of rain the past couple of weeks, so it's really starting to pop here. Things are getting green and really looking absolutely beautiful. So hopefully soon we'll have a full carpet of color right here behind me on our live streams. Okay, Nisha, oh my goodness, I meant to tell you. I'll tell you in just a second, Nisha. On the passion fruit cutting, oh, let's see, I lost your... When should I plant it outdoors? It's been indoors for months now. Any tips, Kim? Nisha, I have to tell you that the passion fruit cutting that you gave me is going crazy, crazy inside. It is absolutely growing like gangbusters. And I have never grown passion fruit, so I actually need to research it and see how to grow it. So maybe you all can help me research that too, give me some tips and tricks. And if you'd like to see videos on that, let me know. And Nisha, I'll be growing mine right along with you. And I really want to thank you for giving me that. I cannot, oh, here he is. I can't wait to get it outdoors. So I wanted to mention too, if you guys have videos that you'd like to see right now, here's the guy that's going to be doing the filming. So I know it's a tough time and we all might need a little bit of extra help making it through. So let us know what you'd like to see videos on to help, you know, DIY kinds of things in the garden and ways we can save money in the garden, and we'll do that. We'll put it on the list anyway and see what we can do. Okay, whoops, here's my notes. All right. Yes, I have heard that you can root ginger from cuttings. I've never tried it, but I can see in the chat you guys are helping people out and really giving some great tips on that.
Hey, Catherine.
Okay, so last tip here, and I have had some questions about this as well via email and comments on YouTube. Make your own soil. That's a great way that you can also save money during this time here and garden on the cheap. Of course, you guys know I love the good dirt soil, but not everybody's able to get that right now. So refresh your containers, make your own garden soil. Don't throw anything away right now. We're going to be repurposing whatever we can. One way you can make your own soil is by, I'm trying to get in the picture. Am I in here? Okay. One way you can make your own soil is by composting. So save all your kitchen scrap, save all your leaves, save your grass clippings that aren't sprayed with, you know, the fertilizer that's not organic, and get some compost going. In the meantime, from your containers, what you can do is just refresh your soil. You don't have to dump all that soil out. Add in some compost if you can. I like to take out maybe a third of the container if I can, if I have enough compost. Mix some new stuff in there. If you're able to get worm castings, that's always a great thing to add. And I have a video on how to make your a DIY potting mix, so I'll post the link for that so you can go and check that out and get some going on the cheap. All right, so let me hear, I'd love to hear some DIY potting mix ideas in the chat here, and that way we can all share those tips together.
Hey, the great gardener, thank you very much. Good to have you here.
Okay, Jeremy has a question here. What is a good tip to get more tomatoes on your plants? Mine have been inside for over a month. Weather is just good now for growing. So they, oh, I missed your comment. So they are now out in my raised bed. Okay, if you have some compost that you can fertilize them with, definitely do that. Spread some compost around the base. If you've got some organic fertilizer, that's definitely going to help. The biggest thing is though, if you're in an area where it's still getting cooler nights, like here our nights have been in the 40s, so the tomatoes just aren't going to take off until the weather gets warmer. They might sit there for a little bit and just, you feel like they're not growing at all, but once we hit 50 to 60 degree nights, believe me, trust me when I tell you, they are really going to take off. So give them as much sunshine as you can. And what you can do too is cover them with some kind of a little bin or a blanket, draped over your tomato cage to help protect them a little bit at night and keep the warmth in. Okay, A. Gord, great suggestion. I've never tried that. Saving the seed from avocados. I've heard that as well. Okay, let's see. Clean your fish tank often and use the dirty water as fertilizer. Great tip, AB.
That makes total sense.
Yes. Free
Who'd have thought?
Free fish fertilizer, right?
Let's
Okay.
get fish.
Oh yeah, maybe we can do that. Eat your lettuce. Yeah, leave the middle to go bolt. Oh man, this chat is scrolling by. I'm losing some of the comments here. Here we are. So you can have seeds for next year. Only need 1 to 2 seed plants of each type. I usually end up with way more seeds that I need. Yeah, that's a great way to get free seeds. And then you have a couple, some seeds that you can share with a neighbor as well. Okay, so if anyone has any DIY potting mix recipes, I would love to hear them. I know I've made some before with coco coir or peat moss, which you can get on Amazon. If you got some more old garden soil, if you don't have anything else, you can use old garden soil. Mix in your coco coir, peat moss. You will need some nutrients in there, so if you can grab some compost, get to the garden center if you can and get some bagged compost. Like I said, a lot of hardware stores are still open with limited hours. And even look on Amazon to see if you can order some on Amazon as well. And of course, the worm castings are always good to add in. Okay, Samantha, great question here about composting. Can you use dried grass as browns? Yes, you can. I don't like to use grass, however, that's been sprayed with pesticides, so you want to make sure about that. I do like to make sure if I'm using grass, that's a hot compost pile, because sometimes there's a lot of weed seeds in grass. So I like the hot compost pile will, hopefully if you get it hot enough, it'll kill off those weed seeds so they don't transfer over to your garden. Okay, Nicole, my compost was a fail, had way too many gnats and had way too much water from all the rain. Okay, Nicole, I hear you, especially right now when it's been raining and a lot of snow where people live. That's very easy to happen. Don't give up. And I want to encourage you, if you can, to find some kind of a plastic cover that you can drape over your compost pile to keep out the excess moisture. And to help you avoid the gnats, it probably won't completely avoid them, but if you're mixing in additional food scraps, make sure that you do mix them in and then cover them up with soil or some leaves or something like that, and that'll really help keep the gnats down. But I'm really glad that you're composting, and I really hope you don't give up. And I'm so glad to see the Healing Berry Garden on here, and she is giving a really great tip on aged manure. You should only put aged manure on your garden beds. I let it sit in a pile for at least a half a year before I put it onto the bed. So great suggestion. Thank you so much for sharing that. And if you tend to put fresh manure on your garden beds, it tends to be too hot, which means it has a really high level of nitrogen and it can burn your plants. So definitely take the Healing Berries advice there. Very good advice. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, Andrea, the pepper plants I overwintered are flowering again. Wow, it's so much
Yay.
fun to see. A couple peppers have formed, but many flowers just placed in water. Okay, first question, Andrea, about the peppers. Probably depends on the weather where you live. I think are you in Denmark? I think so. It could be because of the cold weather. They like nice warm weather. So once it gets warm again, that should definitely help. You might want to cover them at night. I'm not sure if you're growing them outside or inside, but once the weather gets nice and warm, that should help. Now, your other question was about the celery. Yes, all you have to do is just put it in water just like you would the basil roots. And then after a couple of days, you'll see those little roots grow. Make sure you go back and watch the video on that because I show you exactly what to do in the video.
Wow. These
I know,
questions just
they're
fly by here. And such great advice from others as well. It's incredible.
I
I don't know
know.
how you do it.
Very good tips. Okay, one last little tip I wanted to share here, guys, and it's not necessarily a tip on how to grow veggies on the cheap, but it's something really important for us all to do is make sure that you stay connected with people. If you're isolated at home, even if you have your family there, you still need the connection. So stay connected, whether it's through a Facebook group like Gardening Coast to Coast, whether it's on the weekly live streams like we have here on Mondays, whether it's through a text chat that you have with your family in the local area, emails, phone calls, Facebook, whatever you need to do, just stay connected with people, share garden tips, share what are you making for dinner tips, share tips on how you can best use your resources right now. Just stay connected with people to keep your spirits up. And we are all in this together, and Camera Guy and I are going to be here for you as well. And we're hoping maybe we can do live streams a little bit more often, definitely be posting content more often. So let us know if you have any ideas or what you can share on how you've been able to connect with the garden community or with other people this week in a creative way.
Yes, as you look for another question or a comment to talk about, I will say that we are going to do some pop-up live streams, right?
Yes.
And kind of fireside chat things, very casual, very different than this, and very more personal. So keep your smartphones handy and watch for those notifications to pop out because these, we're just going to do these on a whim kind of a thing.
Definitely.
Right? Is that right?
Yeah, and I will also be posting usually when we live stream, I will post a link on my Instagram or my Facebook page the day that we live stream. I definitely want to try and do that. So just to stay connected, just follow both of us actually on
Yes,
Instagram. Callie Kim 29 on Instagram, Callie Camera Guy. Then on Facebook, I'm Callie Kim Garden and Home. So that way you get
Thanks, Miranda.
you get notified.
Yeah,
Okay,
cool.
yes, daily check-ins are great. Cypress, I think we need another live stream this week.
Funny.
Look at all this action. I know, it's crazy. It's wonderful to see over 300 people watching here from
Yeah,
all over the
very
world.
cool.
So exciting. We really enjoy the live streams, and I'm glad that it's an encouragement. You guys encourage us too. Nicole, Fireside Chat. I think we mentioned that, right, last week? So
And this week, I think.
we'll see what we can do, okay, guys? All right. A. Gord, so happy to hear that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your live streams are a lifesaver during this difficult time. Yeah, we know it's tough for a lot of people out there, and I just want to encourage you to just try and keep your spirits up however you can and stay connected. The Great Gardener, yeah, I hear you. Being stuck inside my house all week, it ain't real fun. Yeah, I definitely hear you. It's sometimes that can be really, really tough. So do what you can. If you're able to get outside, if you're allowed because of your regulations right now to be outside, take a quick walk, get some exercise. It'll really help lift your spirits, and definitely try and stay connected with people too.
All right, Rebecca M, I saw that. We will definitely do them. Thanks for the confirmation there. Love it.
Okay, let me scroll through and see if there's any questions before we sign off.
You know, as Kim's scrolling through, I'll share too that just for me, I was told on Friday afternoon that we're off until further notice. So over the weekend, it just kind of dawned on me the potential longevity of this. So we really, really do need to stick together and just keep in touch and it's just so odd. So I think that's one way we can definitely help each other along through this.
Definitely,
We
yeah.
have the technology. Let's do it.
I know, I'm so thankful that we have the internet and the technology to do it. Okay, let me scroll through more live streams. Love all these videos. What's going on with Joel and his garden? Okay, Grace. Yeah, we're trying to figure out how that's all gonna work. I know I've been chatting with him via text. He's definitely getting his, like I said, we had to take a little pause on that, but he's definitely getting his plants transplanted into larger containers. They're overrunning his grow light box. And we'll keep you guys posted on that and see what we can do, okay? All right. My garden is my saving grace from P. Treadway. Absolutely. A medicinal series suggestion from Nicole. That would be fun too.
Wow.
Okay, let me know what you mean by that, Nicole. Do you mean like medicinal herbs, things like that? I would love to hear some more suggestions.
Caitlin West, thank you. Gotcha.
Okay, question from Slimming for Health. Seeds and propagators, do they have to be in the sun or can they just be in a warm place? And are you meaning by propagators, do you mean by in little seedlings that you're starting or that kind of thing? If you could be a little bit more specific. If you're growing warm weather seedlings, then yes, they do need to be in a warm place. Mac's just having a great time back there, huh? Looking for lizards. You want to check out the starting seeds indoors video because we do talk about some warm weather seedlings versus some cold weather seedlings and different ways to take care of them. And we'll be doing some more videos on that in the next few weeks as well. Okay, been canning all day from my garden. Boston, but I grow inside. Oh my goodness, that's amazing, Nellykins. That's a great way to make sure that you're storing every single thing that you harvest, even growing inside. That's wonderful. Okay, this is from Edo Schwartz. I already have worms in my container soil, and I wanted to know if I can only use decomposed cow dung, or manure to fertilize my soil, and how often I fertilize my beds and containers. Okay, I think Healing Berry answered that a little bit earlier, that you want to make sure that your cow manure or your manure is very well composted. So I think she mentioned she lets it sit for, Healing Berry, was it 6 months to a year? You don't want to add fresh cow manure or manure of any kind to your garden beds either. So do some more research on that. I haven't actually ever used that, so I'm not the best person to answer that question. Okay. Oh, Kelsey, I do see your comment. Mexican sunflower is a must to grow in your garden. Chop off extra leaves and drop the plants you want to fertilize. Can also be soaked in water and used. Okay, Mexican sunflowers are a beautiful plant. I've grown them for a couple of years and I hope they reseed this year. I think I saved some seeds last year. They're absolutely beautiful orange flower. They grow like crazy in the heat, and I have not used them yet for fertilizer, so that's a very good tip. I wasn't aware of that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, videos about boosting our immune system. Wonderful.
Good idea.
If you guys could please comment any videos you would like to see. Once this video uploads to YouTube, could you please suggest that in the comments? That way I have it all in one place. I can go back easily and find it, and then we can pick and choose which ones that we're able to make videos on. How to store your veggies. Okay, thank you so much, Naz. I see that. All right, guys, this has been so much fun. Make sure that you are watching on social media for when we're going to live stream again. For sure, we'll be back again next Monday at noon Pacific time. Thank you guys so much for watching. And this has been such a fun time. Just stay safe, stay healthy, stay indoors, get some veggies planted, get out in your backyard or take a walk down the street, get some sunshine. And we are so happy that you guys are here. It's been a big encouragement for us to be here. And I hope we've encouraged and given you guys some hope today too. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.